candidate for the Nevada State Senate, District 1.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. How you doing? I wanted to stop by this afternoon for a couple of reasons. Number one, it was important for me, it's important to me to show you that I also stand in solidarity. Let me say this to you. As a almost 30-year veteran in the military, I'm not confused about what war looks like. I know what war looks like. I know war is sometimes people standing behind trees or doing other subversive actions. I understand what war looks like, and I also understand that war is designed to take folks out. So for those who are uncomfortable with the message of the war on women, I say to them, go back and look at the dictionary, and when you look at the dictionary, you will see exactly what's going on, and you will understand that it is designed for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to take us back. I can remember in 1962. 1962, I was on a bus trip from Ohio to Nashville, Tennessee with my mother, and I didn't understand why we didn't get off the bus. You know, she had this little bag of chicken and bread and biscuits and whatnot, and we had to stay on the bus. And by the time I got to Nashville, I was real thirsty. And I said, Mom, I said, can I just go get some water? And she said, yes. And I made a beeline over to this water fountain, and just before I could take a drink, I felt something grab me in my collar and say, you can't do that. And I said, why? I'm thirsty. And my mother said, you can't drink out of that water fountain, you have to drink out of that water fountain. And when she pointed to that water fountain, I happened to see a man walk by and spit in it. And I looked at the sign. One sign said, for whites only. And just getting used to phonics, I sounded out the words on the other sign, and the other sign said, for color reds.
That's real. That's real.
For color reds. That's what I called it, color reds, but it was really colored. And I couldn't imagine why there was a difference, because all of us are human. All of us are divinely designed by our Creator to fulfill a specific purpose here on this earth that will benefit the universe. Do you agree? And so when people say that it's okay to denigrate one gender over another, to lift up one ethnicity over another, to discriminate against people who are LGBT, to discriminate against people who have a different version of their own gender identity. Well, any type of discrimination against one person is discrimination against all people, and it is wrong.
Say that one more time.
And so I come today to say to you, you can drink out of that water fountain. It does not matter whether or not you are black or white, rich or poor. It does not matter what other people say you can or cannot do. It only matters in accordance to what you have been given by our Creator. You can drink out of that water fountain, and don't let anyone tell you any differently. I happen to be one of the old timers and remember Angela Davis. I remember when I used to try to get my afro and, power to the people. And I remember that simultaneously we were fighting a war not just for equality for African Americans, but we were fighting a war for equality for women. And so how we have come so far and still espouse the ideology of ancient days is really beyond me. And I remember the call, I remember the chant of the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement said, we shall overcome someday. But I believe that if we stand for our rights, the rights that cannot be legislated, the rights that cannot be dictated, the rights that were given to us by the divine Creator, and no one can take them away, I believe we can overcome, not someday, but this day. All it takes is a determined person. One determined person. One determined person gets another determined person. and another determined person, and another determined, and another one, and another one, and before you know it, what we have is a movement. And what people don't understand is equality. Equality is not about monuments to gender. Equality is about a movement. It's about moving from the past into the present. It's about moving from where we were to where we should be. Equality today, not someday, but today. So my brothers and sisters, I will say to you, I'm not running for an office. I'm standing with the people.
All right.
It happens to be I need to get elected to an office. And I will promise you this one thing. I never ever forgot the water fountain that said for color reds only.
Wow.
I never forgot that. I understand discrimination. I understand humiliation. I was one of the first of 7 women to be directly branched into a combat support branch of the Army after the WAC Corps was deactivated. And I clearly remember that day as I sat in class with 6 other young ladies. We sat in class and we were ready to begin our career as military people. And I remember that one of the teachers came by and said, you know, some of you all in here are going to make it. And some of you all in here are not. And he stopped at my desk when he said, are not. I looked at him squarely in the eye, and I looked at the gentleman sitting next to me, and I said, he ain't talking about me.
I heard that.
See, because I refuse to allow anyone to determine my destiny. And so what we have to do is we have to stand for what we believe is right. We cannot allow people to intimidate us. We cannot allow people to hoodwink us. We cannot allow people to say one thing and then do another. We cannot allow people to just slide by saying anything and then back up and say, oh no, I didn't mean it that way. We have got to stand for what we believe, and if we do not stand for what we believe, who will stand with us? We shall overcome when? Today. We shall overcome when? We shall overcome when? We shall overcome when? Will you help me sing? We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome today. How are you going to overcome? If you believe in your heart and do not yield, shake somebody's hand and say, I'm already an overcomer. I'm already an overcomer. I just got to tell the rest of the world, thank you and God bless you.